Welcome back to another brand new video. So this month I have been having loads of fun because I built this. It's a Postman Pat van on steroids. I fitted it with a 15,000 watt electric motor. It works out now, it's 285 brake per ton. This thing is fast, it's chaos, and it's most definitely dangerous. So let me tell you how I built it. Remember those old coin ride machines? Used to be outside every supermarket in the 80s and 90s. Well, one come up on Facebook Marketplace, 200 quid, which is ideal. It was a 6-hour round trip to go and get it, but it was well worth the 200 quid. Looking at it now in the workshop, the outside looks in real good condition. And I just realised Postman Pat, he's got the same size nose as me. While Pat and Jess are in there looking nice and happy, but that's not gonna last for long. Let's flip this van on its roof. We're gonna start cutting this floor out. Now cutting it, I'm gonna take a nice wide cut of it. I don't wanna cut too much off. I just wanna get the floor out and see what it's like inside. Once that floor's out the way, I can get in there, cut the sides off, and Pat and Jess slide out the bottom nicely. I'm also gonna cut the dashboard out to give us as much room inside as possible. Now for the chassis, I'm gonna borrow the go-kart I bought my son for his 3rd birthday. I've blown the cobwebs off it and got it on the ramp ready. I'm gonna take all the side pods off and the bumpers so I can fit the top on. Now lowering Pat's van onto the chassis of the go-kart, it looks way too wide. Those rear wheels stick out loads. I want to, if I can, fit everything inside the van to make it look original. Also looking at it from the side, I'd say that go-kart chassis is just slightly too long. Maybe we'll cut it down at the back end and leave the front with all the steering and pedals as it is. Now the best thing about these go-kart axles is when you get the rear wheel off, you can see the rear hub here. Loosen that off and it'll actually slide in and out and you can shorten the axle, which is ideal. So with these both as close in as I can get them, let's retry that body back on. And that looks much better already. I think it still needs to go in about another inch either side, but it's looking better. I suppose thinking about it, we don't want these wheels too far in because then it's going to be horrible to drive, isn't it? Now the front wheels, I've took an inch spacer from behind them and they've gone in, and now that don't look too bad, does it? I wonder if we can do a part 2 to this video where I can make a Jap style arch coming down into a sill and then a big one on the back to make it look proper cool. We could do some ghost flames on it, like LED neon lights and a flamer kit. But I suppose flamer kit might be a bit thing with a butane tank next to a battery, but you only live once, don't you? But yeah, I think I'll leave it at that. The only thing we've now got to do is shorten this chassis. I'll probably just cut, I think 2 inches there, there, and there, and then put a bar in there, just so it keeps it nice and straight. Right, I'll crack on with that. Let's go. So being super technical, cutting this chassis, we're just gonna stick a laser onto a trestle. And then once those 3 tubes are marked, I'm just gonna cut 2 1/4 inches out of it. To make sure this chassis is mega strong, because our cuts are in the middle, I'm gonna thread tube down the inside. It's gonna be nice and tight. I'm gonna hammer it in and then weld it all up. Once that's all welded, putting the body on, that wheelbase is absolutely perfect. Can't get better than that. The only problem I've noticed is those front wheels are still sticking out too much. When you turn, it's just hitting the body, and I don't want to cut those arches out anymore. So I did take the body off and cut and weld all the front end, so it's brought it in about 3 inches. It's a bit of a mess at the moment. It's mega strong, it's never gonna fall off. Yeah, it needs a lot of cleanup after this. That is looking awesome. It's nice in there, the wheels tucked in. Yeah, we're not gonna rub. Just a job. So that's the Wheelbase done, the width done. I mean, we could bring these rear wheels in a little bit more to match it up, but yeah, it's good. We've only got one problem left, and that is I can't get my hand under the chassis. It's that low. Now I want to rip this round on the grass as usual, and it's just not going to work being that low. So that's the next problem. Let's sort it. Right, I've been working on this a few days now, on and off, trying to get our ground clearance sorted. I even turned the chassis upside down, which gave us loads of ground clearance. I put the seat on loosely and put the body on, but getting in the thing, because the chassis is now much higher, the seat nearly touching the roof, and you can see here, I just can't even get in the thing. And that's without the steering wheel on. There was just no headroom at all. So what I've done is adjusted the chassis. I can get my hand in there now. These bolts here for the pedal box, I've got to cut them off. But yeah, it's looking much better. That should be enough. I've mounted the steering wheel on the seat. Now, this seat is from my go-kart when I was 20. Oh, and for some reason I don't fit in it anymore. But that's the basic driving position we got now. I couldn't have the steering wheel lower because my legs would have been even wider and the body's actually there. So I think I might cut the sides out of this seat just to, I must have put on a few pounds since I was 20. But yeah. And move the pedal forwards, I think was me. If I can get it to there and that one there, that would be ideal. Right, I'll adjust the seat, move the pedals, and we'll start getting that body on. Now for the body, I've got an amazing idea. I'm going to fit some kit car suspension bushes to the back of the chassis, and then on the inside of the body, I'm going to fit a piece of angle iron with the mounts that go on them bushes welded onto that angle iron. And then once I've fitted the body, we can do this. Lift it up all the way back, and then I'm going to get in easy. Ideal. The body's not overly heavy, and the best thing, it's super strong, so it's not going to flex. Now for the front, I can't get in, close the body, and then go around the front and latch it up. So what I'm going to do is add some supports coming up, and then put some bonnet clips in it, which hopefully I'll be able to reach through the front window. So once those are in, let's give it a go. It's still tight getting in this thing. I've got to adjust this seat, but once I'm in, the body comes down and I can clasp it all together. It feels great, ideal. Let's move on to mounting our motor. Right, let's talk about the motor. Here is our 15,000 watt upgraded Surron motor, nearly 20 horsepower. Now in a Surron, these sit as low as they can, right in the bottom of the frame. So to get the drive up to the rear wheel, it uses one of these, a toothed rubber bout. You can see the sprocket on the other side of that. So that sits on the motor there and comes up, probably easier if I show you a picture here. It comes up and then the chain goes down to the rear wheel. Now on our go-kart, we've got a sprocket, so we can't use this belt drive. Luckily, I don't know if this belt drive's a bit naff, they do this, an upgraded kit to get rid of that belt drive. So that pulley will go on there, and then we can link it up to our sprocket. Seems a shame to spend £85 buying this kit just to use that, but I couldn't find one separately. Right, I'll get this on there, and then let's start mounting the thing. So mounting it, it's going to be easy peasy. I'm just going to use angle iron at the bottom there, nice and strong, to mount those two fixed pivots. And then on the upper bit, I'm just going to weld on another piece of angle iron that's got an adjuster hole at the top of it. Then the original cart chain, it's going to fit, but it's about 4 links too big. So once I cut that off and join it together, it's going to fit on there mint. Now our motor's mounted spot on. We've got to fit our speed controller. I've bought this. It's a Voltol EM100, and you can see here the little panel comes off, and that's where we fit our motor wires to and the battery wires. Now this 200 quid, and really it's built to power a 5,000 watt motor. The one I actually need is here, just over 900 quid. Now I want to make sure this all works before I spend that money, because the motor, nearly 1,000 quid, the battery, 500 quid, and then with that, you know, and the cart and everything else, we're talking 3,000 quid for a little project here, which is a lot of money. But yeah, this speed controller, which we're going to try, it's just going to fit there. That's where I'm going to mount it, and then you can see the motor wires here. They're going to pull across and just mount like that. And then this is actually fully programmable, so we plug the laptop into this and I can limit how fast the motor spins up, what voltage we draw, amp draw and all that lot. So it is actually quite a good bit of kit, to be honest. But let's get fitting. So for this, same as the motor really, I'm just going to bring up a bracket off that bottom, attach it to the bottom of our speed controller, and then across from our motor mount to the other side. That's it. Easy peasy. Okay, and with that speed controller on, we're 99% of the way now, fitting all the bits on our cart. There's just one thing missing, and that's the battery. Now, bearing in mind, this chassis is built for 7-year-olds, and I've cut 2¼ inches out of it, and I'm definitely taller than a 7-year-old. The only place I can think to fit it is here. Now, this battery is what you would run if you were using a 1,000 watt motor, and that sits nice there, doesn't it? Loads of room for my feet, ideal. But our motor is much bigger, so we've got to use this. I've borrowed it off my Sinclair C5. It's huge and heavy, and I've already made a cage for it. And the only place I can think of fitting it is here. If I took it up above that bar, cut it off, put some angle iron, and then hopefully my feet won't kick the bottom of it and my legs will have room. But that's the only place to fit it. I mean, we can't fit it under the seat because I'd have to lift the seat up and then my head would smack on the body. Plus I wouldn't want a battery dragging across the floor. And if we put any more weight in the back above this real heavy motor, because that is heavy, we're just going to be popping wheelies every time. So I'll get that done. Fingers crossed, it'll all fit, and I'll see you in a minute. So after getting the battery mounted, it's not very pretty, but at least my feet don't hit the bottom of it. I started trying to program this speed controller. What a game that was. I got the laptop out, plugged it to it, and it just wouldn't connect. Even looking at all the wiring diagrams, I mean, you only need a battery live and the throttle to get this thing working. I tried changing computers to a PC and then checked all the voltages from the battery up to the controller and everything, but I had no joy. Now, checking the listing again on Amazon, which I bought it said 72 volts, and on the box even said 72 volts, but I don't know why I didn't see it. Here you can see I lifted it up to the camera, zoom in, it says maximum 60 volts, so it was obviously the wrong one in the box. I next added another one here, and it came, it's slightly different, but this one you can run 500 amps through it maximum. And the good news is, let's turn the ignition on. It works, ideal. Can't wait to test this thing. One little issue we might have, with the brake fully on, the motor's stronger than that disc brake, so fingers crossed we can push this hard enough where we're going to stop. But yeah, the sensible man now would probably strip it all back apart and check the welds and make sure everything's good, but I've been a day and a bit trying to program this and get it working. Let's get outside in the garden and give it a rip. Let's go. Right, we're outside. The sun is not shining today, but now in the UK weather, in 5 minutes, it's either going to come out or it's going to hammer it down with rain. Instead of ripping around just randomly on the grass, you can see I've been out here with a mower, and it's an identical track to Silverstone I've put in there. We've got the hanger straight going into Stowe at the top, and then it goes round and we've got Chapel, Beckett's and Maggots, and then it goes into Club at the bottom. This is where with the drone I took it off beginner mode and I thought I'd do a cool zoom in shot going fast into the track, and I managed to crash it into the edge. And then after that with the drone, I thought I'd take you around the track real low level, coming in nice to the end, and then I crashed it into the edge again. But hopefully it will still work. We'll soon find out. These things are pretty indestructible. Right, let's see if I can get in. Get my legs in. And let's get going. Right, drone is up, power on. I have done a soft start on this, so we're moving. We can just touch the throttle a little bit. And then it's not too bad. Right, take it nice and slowly before we give it, so I'm just giving it like 2% of the throttle. Yeah, it's real bumpy. Right, let's give it some up the hanger straight, shall we? Okay, that didn't work that well. I think Droney has lost it because I'm a Postman Pat van. Right, let's give it a bit more. Brake. It's so bumpy. There's way too much power. Drift King. No, we need to. Stop. Oh, no. We can't do it on the grass. I got so much grass in my eyes now as well. As soon as you just go more than about 5% throttle, it just sends you around in a circle. The throttle is, it's like on or off. It's not, you haven't got much control. Yeah. Drift King. No. Let's go and find some tarmac. Right, we're here down our little private lane. Hopefully we won't wipe out any dog walkers when we go past. Yeah, we've got a problem with a soft start. It like pulls away real slowly, and then all of a sudden, about 1500 RPM on that motor, it just goes straight round to 10,000 revs. I've just turned it down, so hopefully now we'll be all right. I'm going to bring the camera in with me because of the battery and the controller. There's so much static, the microphone's going every now and then. So right, let's get moving. Right, I got my phone in my pocket. That is, I smell cow poo. That is recording the speed. Yeah, it's starting better. Right, are we ready? Camera 1, camera 2. Let's give it some stuff. Are we ready? Oh my God. We got no brakes. That's hard on the brake. As hard as I can do it. No brakes at all. Well, that was better at turning around, wasn't it? There's absolutely no brakes on this. We need to get like a hydraulic That's flat on the brake, hydraulic handbrake or something, hydraulic caliper. Right, let's go back down, then we'll check our speed. Ready? I got hit in the face with a stone. I got hit in the face with a stone. We need a crash helmet. Oh, went in my eye and my cheek. I'll put on the brake. That's putting on the brake. Well, that is mega dangerous. Oh my, I got so much, I nearly swore, so many stones in my eyes. I need a helmet, and we got no brakes at all. There's just nothing, you hit the brake and it don't even slow you down. We need a bigger area to run about in. It said 34 mile an hour on the Speedo Majiggy. Yeah, we need a much bigger area. I'll go and see if I can do a little donut down here. Let's see if I can do one. Ugh. I'm getting better at getting in the thing now. Right. Am I going to crash? Crash! Ah! Brambles. Well, that was on 2 wheels. I hope I got that on the video. Oh, I've run over some cow poo, definitely cow poo. Let's see if I can do it again. Nah, they don't want to do it. Right, oh my God, cow pat. Back to the studio. Still stinks, this thing. Cow poo, gross, ran over it. Right, since having it back in the last half an hour, I plugged it into the laptop trying to sort it out, and I found another load of settings. So the soft start stops the motor spinning up so fast, so it restricts the revs. I found another one that stops the amperage being put into the motor low down as well. So I've just basically turned that off and it now does this. Which is awesome, but we can't go and test it again now because it's just so dangerous. We've got no brakes at all. If anybody out there knows carts, and put an eBay listing of what I can get that makes, yeah, hydraulic brakes, it's got to be the cable one. I just can't push it hard enough. We've got to sort the steering as well, because I mean, I set the tracking by eye. Going 34 mile an hour, it was twitchy as anything. It felt like 200 mile an hour. So yeah, I think of part 2, there's more to do. Steering, brakes, paint the body, finish the welding because it's a bit rough. And yeah, as always, like and subscribe and all that jazz. It's free to do so, and smash me bell if you like, and yeah, leave me a comment. Hope you enjoyed this video. I know I have, and I'll see you on the next one. Ta-da.